Samuel has asked me something that I want to answer right now, and I took some time because I didn't know how to answer it, to be honest. But I love the question. And I wanted to do a video because it's much better than doing an article or whatever. He asked me if anyone ever said that I possess reality distortion field. I can imagine that many people thought about it but didn't tell me. I am doing my work as I'm doing since 2003. Since first I became a general manager, leader in Hungary, because I have always focused in people first. And then I have focused on the clients, patients, customers, because I really believed always that if our people are motivatedly in the right way, then everything will come. And if the company has in their mind the right focus, vision, then you align both. I always thought. But always what I thought is that we have to take care of the human being and make them find their purpose, make them wake up in the morning to do something much bigger, and then they would do extraordinary work. And we can only achieve excellent results when they are doing this. But I'm not going to tell about all of the nuances or problems that I had during this period. I will tell why I really believe that this is the right way to work. And sometimes people question the way that you talk, that you work with people. And they tell, can you adjust a little your communication to talk a little more about commercials, results, and profit? Yes, I could. But the problem is that the world is going to a direction that social impact, worry about our environment, and worry about our people and human beings is the most important, and we have to focus on this. And to answer this, I want to give an example of a person that I simply admire hugely. Yeah? And why I want to talk about this person? Because people who believe in this kind of leadership and corporations in the future have to look up to somebody and take these people as role model and example, and then inspired on them, do what you have to do. I'm talking about Paul Polman. I don't know if everybody heard about him. Paul Polman was CEO of Unilever for 11 years, from 2008 to 2019. And Paul Polman was CFO of Nestlé before joining as CEO of Unilever. If you go to his LinkedIn, the way that he led was telling that he wanted business to be force for good instead of only making profit. He was stating openly this for 10 years. He wanted business to be force for good instead of only making profit. If you go to his LinkedIn profile, after I will write an article with all of the links so everybody can follow also. In his LinkedIn profile, his cover has a phrase that is beautiful. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow from our children. This is super beautiful. And in his description of the LinkedIn is people, purpose, passion, and positive attitude. Yeah? In the Unilever press release announcing his retirement, he's explaining many things, and even the chairman, Marian Deckers, is recognizing his work by changing completely how leadership is and how sustainability and social impact was included in the work of the company, and how he was seeing this ahead of any other leader in the world. But very interesting that when they were citing in this press release what was the achievements of Paul Polman, I will read it because it's very interesting. Paul Polman joined Unilever as a CEO in January 2009. Over the last 10 years, Unilever has achieved consistent top and bottom line growth ahead of its markets. Unilever has grown its presence in emerging markets from 47% of group turnover to nearly 60% of group turnover. Unilever has reshaped its portfolio, making more than 50 acquisitions. Unilever invested significantly in its brands, with Kantar World Panel naming 12 of Unilever's brands in the world's top 50, more than any other company. Unilever helped more than 600 million people improve their health and hygiene, improve their livelihoods of over 700,000 smallholders farmers and 1.6 million small-scale retailers, reduced its waste impact by 29%, and now sources 56% of its agricultural raw materials sustainably. Unilever has launched the first of its kind human rights report in accordance with the UN Guiding Principles reporting framework. Unilever has led its industry or sector in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index for 9 out of 10 years. Unilever has been ranked by Globescan as top global corporate sustainability leader for the last 8 years. And Unilever has delivered a total shareholder return of 290%. Do you observe that the shareholder return is the last thing that they are mentioning? Because all of the rest led to it. Another very interesting article is one interview with him that is in the page of UN Environment. And there they just start by telling the former head of consumer goods giant Unilever believes the world needs to totally redesign the way growth and financial success are measured to unlock the potential of a sustainable future. And that's a task that should have started yesterday. This is another very interesting article that I would advise you to read. Another article is still when he was CEO, that it was November 2017 in Forbes. And the title of the interview is Why Today's Leader Needs to Commit to a Purpose. And there are lots of interesting things in this article, but I would call out the three pieces of advice that he gives by the end of the interview. What would you give as an advice to young people coming to work and the workforce? So he tells, first, have your purpose. Find your purpose. Second, use your passion to do your work. Love what you do. Third, have a positive attitude. See obstacles not as problems, but opportunities. And in this article, they also mentioned that he was considered one of the inaugural heroes of conscious capitalism in an annual CEO summit, along with 27 other business leaders. He was recognized for his contribution towards realizing a world in which business is both practiced and recognized as a force for good. And then finally, I want to mention an interview that he did, I think, the last 2 weeks, while it was the World Economic Forum. He was talking to the YPO group, and he was talking about the social impact, capitalism, and life after Unilever. The conversation with Paul Polman, he's talking about his new company that he's leading, talking about end of poverty and helping governments to face some of the most important problems that we have today. What I wanted just to tell, and the message that I want to give, what inspires me to talk as I talk is this kind of examples. If we do not realize that business for good is what will be required in the future, and if you want to be in higher positions in the future, it doesn't matter what anybody is challenging you. You have to look to World Economic Forum, in pharmaceutical industry, look IFO Pharma. Look what is the IFO Pharma topic for this year. They are talking about not running for sales, but seeing how can you impact positively healthcare access and patients. How to change commercial focus to value focus. How you add value, how you build a value-based healthcare. So all of this, I think that is very important. And I just wanted to answer this question about, have you been challenged by the way that you work and the way that you talk, the way that you lead? Yes, I was. But this is not what I have focused my whole life. I focused my whole life being inspired by CEOs as Paul Polman, who has delivered results of the companies during 10 years, focusing on people, helping people to find their purpose, their passion, and helping social impact through their company as a strategy. And the deliverable of the profits and the results and sales help the sustainability of the company to be able to really help even further on social impact, people, and the planet sustainability. So this is my message that I wanted to share, why I believe in leading as I lead, and people like Paul Polman, I can not even compare myself with him, but people like Paul Polman and others that we really see here. If you look to the Davos meeting this year, if you see the World Economic Forum, it's the first time that the risk report that was released by World Economic Forum has the main risks only environmental risks. That's why, if we do not have a planet in the future, how can business survive? If we do not take care of the environment where we do business and how people are living there, we will not have business. So I hope that you agree with me. Please challenge me if you think that I am wrong, and I am very much open to listen to you. Thank you.